You wake up tired. You hit the afternoon wall at 3 p.m. Your muscles feel stiff after a workout that should feel fine. You're wired but can't sleep. Most people blame stress, or their diet, or just getting older. But what if the real culprit was a single mineral, one that over 50% of the population is deficient in, and almost nobody is talking about it seriously? Today we're going deep on magnesium. Not the take it for cramps version you've heard before. The version that explains why your brain, heart, muscles, and nervous system literally cannot function optimally without it. Here's what makes magnesium unique. It's involved in over 600 biochemical reactions in your body. Every single cell depends on it, from neurons firing in your prefrontal cortex, to the mitochondria producing your energy, to your heart maintaining its rhythm. It's the fourth most abundant mineral in the human body, and yet it's the one most people are chronically low on. Think about that contrast. Something so essential, so widespread in the body, and so quietly depleted in modern life. Here's where it gets personal. Imagine a busy Tuesday. You wake up after 7 hours of sleep, still feeling groggy. By 2 p.m., you can't focus. You get a dull headache. Your shoulders are tight. Not from anything specific, just always tight. You feel slightly on edge, slightly anxious, for no clear reason. Sound familiar? These are textbook signs of low magnesium. Fatigue, poor sleep quality, muscle cramps and tension, headaches, irritability, difficulty concentrating, digestive sluggishness, elevated resting anxiety. The challenge? These symptoms are generic enough that most people and most doctors don't connect them to a mineral deficiency. They just become your baseline. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel for more. Here's the frustrating part that most people don't know. A standard blood test won't tell you if you're deficient. Only about 1% of your body's magnesium circulates in the blood. The rest, roughly 65%, is stored in your bones, and another 33 to 35% lives inside your cells. So your blood work can look perfectly fine while your cells are running on empty. The most accurate indicator is how much magnesium your kidneys excrete in urine. But that's rarely tested. And there's another uncomfortable truth. There's very little commercial or pharmaceutical interest in deeply researching magnesium deficiency, because you can't patent a mineral. This is why millions of people are quietly depleted and don't know it. This isn't just about eating more greens. The problem runs deeper. Soil depletion. Industrial agriculture has stripped magnesium from the soil. The spinach on your plate today contains a fraction of the magnesium it would have contained 50 years ago. A darker green generally signals more magnesium, but even that isn't guaranteed anymore. Food processing. Refining and processing further strips what little remains. Tap water, treated to remove pathogens, but also most of its mineral content. Medications. Proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole, taken daily by millions for acid reflux, reduce your stomach's ability to break down and absorb minerals, including magnesium. Caffeine and alcohol. Both increase urinary excretion of magnesium. Your morning coffee and evening wine are literally flushing it out. And then there's stress. This is the big one for high performers. When your sympathetic nervous system activates, during a deadline, a difficult conversation, a stressful commute, your body burns through magnesium at an accelerated rate. Chronic stress means chronic depletion, and less magnesium means a nervous system that's harder to downregulate. It becomes a feedback loop. When your magnesium levels are optimal, the research is clear. Improved sleep quality. Magnesium activates the parasympathetic nervous system and regulates melatonin. Better sleep means better recovery, cognition, and mood the next day. Reduced systemic inflammation, a key driver of long-term disease and the chronic fatigue many professionals normalize. Better blood pressure regulation. Magnesium acts as a natural calcium channel blocker, supporting healthy arterial function. Reduced frequency and intensity of migraines, one of the more well-documented clinical uses. Improved insulin sensitivity, critical for sustained energy, metabolic health, and avoiding the post-lunch crash that kills afternoon productivity. And for athletes and active professionals, better muscle recovery and reduced cramping. Start with food. Prioritize dark leafy greens, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocado, legumes, dark chocolate. The key is sourcing. Organic produce from less depleted soils genuinely contains more minerals. Think of your grocery choices as an investment, not just in taste, but in the mineral density your body depends on. If you want to trial supplementation, a reasonable starting point is 200 to 400 milligrams per day of an absorbable form. Magnesium glycinate or malate tend to be gentler on digestion and well absorbed. Magnesium oxide is cheap and common, but poorly absorbed. A practical self-test: start at 200 milligrams. Monitor how you feel over 2 to 3 weeks. Sleep, energy, muscle tension. Increase gradually if needed. If you reach 500 to 600 milligrams and experience loose stools, that's your body signaling it has enough. Dial back slightly and maintain. The risk of excess is low, because your kidneys efficiently excrete what you don't need. That said, always discuss supplementation with your doctor, especially if you have kidney conditions or take medications. So, magnesium isn't a trend supplement. It's a foundational mineral that your nervous system, cardiovascular system, muscles, and metabolism depend on. And modern life is systematically depleting it. If you're a high-performing professional dealing with poor sleep, low energy, muscle tension, or that constant undercurrent of stress, optimizing your magnesium is one of the most evidence-based, low-risk interventions available. It won't fix everything, but for a significant portion of people, it's the missing piece they've been ignoring for years. If you want to go deeper, check the resources linked in the description below. If this video was useful, share it with someone who lives on caffeine and never sleeps enough. They need it. See you in the next one.